Hey everybody, it's me, Edward Jones, back with a new video. Are mass shootings the price we pay for living in a free society? That's a question I heard come up on the D.L. Hughley show. It plays at my job, and the topic came up. There was a poll taken. 40% of Republicans polled said that mass shootings are the price we pay for living in a free society. D.L. Hughley and his co-hosts, they put their spin on it, and they had other people call in and give their opinion on the matter. When I heard that question, it brought me back to a thought I've had whenever these things happen, which is why I'm not cold hearted, but I'm just not I'm not moved. I'm not really moved as many people get moved when they hear about these things, as tragic as they are. What I wait for, there are several things I wait for. I wait to see if the true root of the problem is going to be talked about, the true roots of the problem, and I wait to hear of anybody that fights back. Um, because those things don't get talked about. They don't talk about they don't talk about the true thing. What's really going on behind these mass killings, and people actually fighting back is something that's not really talked about. At least it's not talked about in a positive way. So the first thing I want to talk about is what I believe to be at the root of all these mass killings. And it's very simple. It's evil. That's all it is. It's pure and simple, just evil. I think the problem is that we've gotten away. Our society has gotten away from wanting to attribute evil to these actions. What gets talked about is gun control, which is silly, because these same things can be carried out with, as we talked about before. These same things can be carried out with fire, with edge weapons, or with a myriad of different things. People can carry these actions out with whatever they decide to get their hands on. Just that firearms are easier to get their hands on, but I don't think making them more difficult is gonna fix anything. It's basically evil. That's it. And on the side of mental illness, I think that's something that gets talked. I think gets brought up because people want to, they don't want to pin it on something that actually is more simple but more difficult to talk about. These are just evil people. There are people who they enjoy harming other people. There was one of my favorite movies, Dirty Harry. There's a scene where Inspector Callahan he tells his chief. I believe he tells his superior, get ready to hear about these killings happening again. And he said, "How are you so certain?" He said, "Because he likes it." The killer in that movie, the Serpico killer, he enjoyed harming other people. He enjoyed killing people, and he was just evil. I think we need to get back to just facing facts about they're just evil people in this world. And I think when people say the word evil, they think about it, in terms of they think about it like an abstract, like an evil dictator, But really, just why not say the same thing about someone who goes into a school or goes into a supermarket and just kills a bunch of people? Why do we pin the blame on either an inanimate object or pin the blame on maybe on mental illness? There are instances where someone is mentally ill. I know Charles Whitman, he had a tumor, and that messed with his brain to make because he did leave a note where he wanted his brain to be studied. He did that before the bell tower shooting he did I think it was in the 60s. But we should be able to just say that these are just evil individuals, because evil resides in all of us. I think it comes out in various degrees, and this is just one form it can come out of. It can come out of us through insults. It can come out of us through ignoring people's cries for help. It's just there, and I don't think it's a stretch to say that these are the actions of evil men. I think it's perfectly sound to say something like that. Because at least at that point, we can at least get to the root of the problem. There's evil in each and every one of us, and let's see if we do something about that. And on the matter of of not talking about self-defense, I think that goes in part with the evil that's in us. Because it seems like whenever people bring up a point of, well, let's how about we, if teachers want to be armed so they can protect their class, protect their students. If you make a suggestion like that, many people, like in the media, they call you crazy. You get called crazy. You get called, a gun nut. Which some of us are. Which I am. I'm a gun nut, and I believe that teachers should be armed if they want to. But that's not a reason. That's not a reason. But bringing that argument down to just name calling shouldn't be the route that we go in, because someone brings up an idea that you may think is silly, or you may think is just beyond the pale. I mean, I say, why not? Why not bring that point up? If you had a child in your care, and if you knew that kind of evil was out there, why wouldn't you take up that kind of precaution to keep the child safe? I mean, we do it for banks, we do it for celebrities, we do it for politicians. Why not do it for children in schools? I think the push behind ridiculing people who suggest personal defense, or teachers defending their children. I think behind that is the realization that the person who is so vehemently opposed to it is that they themselves couldn't deliver on it if the situation, or if the occasion met them. They wouldn't be able to act. But that's a horrible thing. That's a hard thing to face about yourself, that you wouldn't be able to do anything about someone wanting to kill a classroom full of kids. So instead of facing that part of yourself, facing that evil within yourself, you project. You say that these gun nuts, they're the ones who are responsible for these kids being killed, or for these people in the supermarket being killed. They're the ones responsible for a mall getting shot up. They're the ones responsible for a church being shot up, because they love their guns, because they're gun nuts, because they don't care about children, because they're cold-hearted. No, that's not the reason. The very people that you're demonizing. It's funny, good use of the word demonizing. The very people that you're talking ill about, they're the ones who would do everything possible to protect other people. They don't want, I myself and others, we carry, because we don't just want to protect ourselves. We also want to come to someone else's aid, because we may have found ourselves in that same position, where someone's going to try to take advantage of us, just because they're bigger and stronger than us. No, we're the very people who would respond to that. Ask Stephen Williford. A guy sleeping on his couch. He ran out with an AR-15 to a church and confronted the mass murderer in the church parking lot. Talked to Jack Wilson, the guy who he shot someone who came into the church, and the guy murdered 2 people. Jack Wilson shot him once in the head. It's like they don't want to talk about that, because in their mind they couldn't conceptualize themselves doing the exact same thing. For whatever reason, maybe because maybe because they can't trust themselves with a firearm, maybe because they're too afraid, or whatever reason they come up with. I think that goes back to the evil I talked about. That's just something that's evil. If you're going to discourage people from doing something that's good because you yourself can't see yourself doing it, that's an evil thing to do. So I guess I just wanted to share these few things. That's what I think. I think evil's behind all of this. I myself I'm capable of doing great, many evil things, but I choose not to. In part because I have Jesus Christ within me, and it's a daily task to keep from doing things that's evil in His eyes. Whether I'm not talking about an extreme of shooting up a school, but just saying something unnecessarily ill about another person. Not showing care and compassion for someone in need. I have him to look up to keep me from going down that dark path. Well, what do you think? Do you think evil is behind a lot of this? Do you think it's do you think it's purely mental illness? Do you think it's because of guns? Please share your thoughts. Leave a comment in the comment section. Like, share, and subscribe. I'm interested in reading everyone's comments, and I hope they respond to them in a timely fashion. Any gripes or complaints, send me a PM. I'll see what I can do to address them. That's my video. Our mass shootings are the price we pay for living in a free society. I'm Edward Jones. You guys take care, be safe, stay strapped, and God bless.